when we're talking about EBS, it is imperative that at some point in time you would want to take a backup of that EBS volume, because as a customer or a user of a storage, you create some data and that data is valuable, or for compliance reasons or regulatory reasons, you would want to take a copy of the data and preserve it for future use or for audit purpose. So when we are talking about EBS, snapshots is your answer for your questions of how do I take a copy of my data, how do I store it, how long should I store it. So whenever you create a snapshot, it is a point in time backup of your modified volumes. So if you have a 10 GB of a disk, and if you are using it only for 4 or 5 GB and we are creating a snapshot, only those 4 or 5 GB of data is going to be copied. The snapshot will say 10 GB, but it is going to have only the modified volumes inside it. And snapshots are incremental by nature. So tomorrow in the 10 GB disk, which is 4 GB utilized, and tomorrow you go ahead and trigger another snapshot when there is no changes on your disk, the new snapshot will have very less data or no data at all. Just the metadata will be there for that disk. So, and let us say there is 1 GB of modification on the third day, and you take another snapshot, so the only additional 1 GB will be copied over to your new snapshot. So that is why snapshots are incremental, and you can go ahead and restore any of those snapshots in any order you want. Say you want to restore your second day's snapshot, you go and restore it, and you will get all the modifications that was done up to that point, or in other words, all the data that was stored up to that point. And you can go ahead and delete any of your older snapshots the day one also, and still you will be able to restore your data completely, because the data gets moved to the latest snapshot. I will show you how this happens in the background in a short while. For now, just understand that you can delete your oldest snapshots, but you'll still be able to restore all your data without losing anything. And people use snapshots for a lot of purposes. For example, you create a golden image, nothing but an operating system plus customized installations of binaries, applications, package it all in one file and call it as a snapshot, and you can ship it to your production deployments or other environments. Sometimes what happens is developers sit in one country and then create a snapshot, and it gets sent to the customers or partners in another AWS region. So that also you can do with snapshots. So the EC2 server is there. I have installed web server. I have copied some packages so that when I go to hit the URL that I've shown here, it opens up my nice page. So what I want to do is I want to package all these things into a single AMI, and I want to share it with my customers or end users. So in other words, I'm going to create an image AMI out of this volume now. So what I can do is I can go and select this volume and then click on actions, and then under actions you will find something like image, and you can go ahead and click on create image after that. So it is going to ask you some metadata saying what is the image name. So I'm going to call it custom image for web server. I'm going to put it as the same description, and this is the field I said to stop the IO. When you want to take an image and you want to stop the IO, this is what the only option Amazon gives you, whether you want to reboot the server or do you want to create an image without rebooting the server. So if I put a tick mark here, it will take the image without rebooting, so the file system integrity is not guaranteed. So what I recommend you is go ahead and don't do this. So let Amazon give us brief pause to the volume and take a image. So click on create image, and it has taken the request. You can see here it says view pending image. If you click on that, it will take you there, and let us not do that right now. Let's close this, and on your left hand side you will find elastic block store volumes and snapshots, but above that you will find something called AMIs. Usually the AMIs take about a minute or two for the processing to get completed and appear here. So let me just go ahead and pull it down, and you can see here my custom image for web server is getting created, and status will be shown somewhere here. There we go. Here's the status, and it's going ahead and copying all the data into my S3 bucket and packaging it as an image now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to volume section, And if you remember, this is my root volume. My entire operating system and all the data contained is in this root volume now, and you can see here it is attached to this server, EBS Snapshot Demo 1A. If I go here, let me go to instances here and keep this as the first tab. This is my server and this is my instance ID. Let me copy that, and I'm going to filter it based on my instance. And you can see here this volume is attached to my instance. I'm going to click on actions. Under actions I will have snapshot. So it is going to ask me what I want to name my snapshot. So I'm going to call it custom web snapshot 1. And here once again there is a tricky aspect of it. When I created this root volume, the root volume was not encrypted at all. So when you're taking a snapshot from an unencrypted volume, the outcome, that is the snapshot, is also going to be not encrypted. So if you want to move it to an encrypted volume, the only way to do is you create another volume, and when you're creating it, make sure that you're encrypting it and copying your data manually from unencrypted to an encrypted state. So you cannot directly just go ahead and take a snapshot, and during that snapshot you can go ahead and encrypt it. No, that is not possible at all. So in this case, the encryption option is not even given for me. So it is no, go ahead and create it. So click on close. And now if I go to my snapshots section, I should be able to see a snapshot. Let me go ahead and in it. And you can see here what I did. If you can understand it, that is 2 snapshots here, but I took only one. And if you remember, this is the one that we just now created. And there is another snapshot also for every image or for every AMI that we create. There is an automatically a snapshot is created, because that is how the storage is allocated for you. A snapshot is created, and from that snapshot an AMI will also be created. If I go to my AMI section, you will find that some same description as this one. You can see here the description says created by create image command from this instance for this AMI and for this volume. If I go to my AMI section here, and here also I should be seeing something similar. Probably it is not saying the same thing, but the description will have that. Do I find the description here? I'm going to create an additional volume and attach it to my server, create a very simple file, and then we are going to create a snapshot, and then we are going to attach it to another server and see whether we can consume that volume also now. So create a volume. Let us go ahead, and with 1 GB is fine. And see here, I'm going to choose an encryption now, and I'm going to leave it as a default. Once again, Amazon, wait a second, why is this not traveling along with it? That is strange. I have only one key in my account, the default EBS key. If you have added other keys, it will also appear here. So let us go ahead and choose the default key, and almost all of us will have a default master key in our account, and we should be able to use that. So tag your volume, and I'm going to call this as encrypted 1 GB volume, and add another tag for owner, and then I'm going to say mystique, and then click on create volume. And now we are going to go faster to say that I want my new volume to be attached to my running server. Did I make a mistake of creating it in a different availability zone? I just want it to be in 1A, because my server is in 1A. Okay, great. My availability zone is also in 1A. Go ahead and attach it. Attach. And I'm going to go to my server. Oh, I got disconnected. Let me reconnect again. Sudo su ls block. So there is my new disk of 1 GB in size. I'm going to create a file system now. XVTF, create a mount point, call this 1 GB wall. And we are going to create a file saying let us call this as snap file. So we have created a simple file system and we have created a simple file also. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to unmount this guy now, and I'm going to create a snapshot from my console now. So there is only one file created, remember this. Let us go ahead and create a snapshot. I don't have to unmount it, but it's okay. Create a snapshot. And you see here the encryption option is by default enabled, because if you remember when you created that volume, we enabled that encryption option, and from encrypted to unencrypted we cannot just like that jump, and Amazon makes sure that that doesn't happen by not giving you the choice also. So this is an 1 GB snap from 1 GB volume. So if I go to my snapshots now, I will see one more snapshot here. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add some more data and I'm going to create another snapshot. Let us go ahead and do that as well. Oh, great. Anyway, oh yeah. Anyway, you saw creating snapshots. Let me just mount it again. Okay, it never got unmounted. Anyway, I was in the same directory, so it never got unmounted. So not a problem. So we took one snapshot of this volume. I'm going to add one more file. Let us say copy this quickly into 2. So I should have 2 files now on my snapshot, on my volume now. So I'm going to trigger one more snapshot. Go to volumes, go to encrypted volume, and I'm going to create a snapshot now. And you see here encryption is enabled by default. Snap 2 for 1 GB volume. And if I go to my snapshots, you see here that is getting created. This is a snap volume that I created some time back, and this should have only one file and this should have 2 files. I'm just going to say 1 GB 2 file volume. So this is all I wanted to show is point in time backup. If I'm going to create or restore this data or attach this volume to any server, this is going to have only one file. And if I'm going to restore this snapshot, it is going to have 2 files. That's all I wanted to show here. If I have to attach it to another server, let me just go ahead and create another server. I wanted to make sure only one detail. It should be in public availability zone 1A. Click on review and launch. It is getting created. If I remove this, let me just say, what shall I name this one? Server 2. So my server 2 is getting booted. And let me copy this IP address and then create another session for this server as well. No, not this one. Let it get booted. Okay, it is booted now. As of now, there are no disks. Let me go ahead and attach that volume in the console. So we need to, first of all, when you want to attach this 2 GB snapshot, you need to create a volume out of it. Then only you will be able to attach it. So to create a volume, you go ahead and select the snapshot, click on create volume, and once again you see here it was an encrypted disk, and by default this option is selected, and other options are there. If you want to go ahead and change your availability zone, remember I said you can move a snapshot from one region to another region. So this is how you do it. When you're creating a new volume, just choose whichever availability zone you need, and if you want to increase the volume also, you can go ahead and do that, but don't try to decrease it. Uh, it might corrupt your data. So go ahead and click on create volume. The volume has been created. Let me go ahead and filter it. Click on attach. It's still creating. So go ahead and attach it. And I want to attach it to my second server now, and click on attach. And remember, this file system is the volume has a file system, so let us not format it and lose the data. Let us go ahead and just mount it. Not this one. I want to go here. So if I do ls block here, I should be able to see my 1 GB disk, and mkdir -p /var. Let us say I want to call this as 2 file volume. xvdf, and you see here both the files are there. So that is how a point in time snapshot works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another volume from the volume a snapshot which has only one file. I'm going to attach it and see how many files are going to be there. So let us go ahead and do that as well. Go to snapshots, and I'm going to create a volume from this one, and then make sure it is in 1A. I just want to have this field at least so that my costing happens properly. Volume from one file snap. It is still creating. Let it get created. Okay, let us go ahead and attach. Second server, click on attach. So while the attachment is happening, let us go ahead and do ls block now. I will have one more. You see here xvdf is mounted here. So I'm going to mount this guy now. mkdir -p /var one file volume. xvdg, and you see here there's only one file on this volume. So that is how you create point in time snapshots, create volume from those snapshots and mount it to another server, and then you can go ahead and use your volumes on data anytime.